welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good evening. Good evening. DJ Kitty, are you there? There you go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Our Plugs, the Community Connection. This is Miss Morningstar, DJ Kitty. We're trying to get her in here. So let me see if we can get her in. Oh, she's not ready yet? Okay. Let's see, having a little technical difficulty, but good evening, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome to Our Plugs, the Community Connection. I'm the co-host, Ms. Morningstar. We have DJ Kitty Cat here. Are you here, Kitty?
I'm trying to be here. I'm trying.
I hear you now. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, StreamYard, you are doing your big one today, I see.
Oh,
Happy Wednesday,
yeah.
everyone. I'm sorry about that. Technical difficulties out of my hand. StreamYard wouldn't let me in. However, one monkey doesn't stop a show. Good evening, everybody. It is DJ Kitty Cat.
Yes.
Coming in from WKRA 92.7 The Change. I'm here with my co-host, Miss Morningstar, who of course jumped in because she knew something must have been wrong.
Of course.
We have an excellent show lined up for you guys tonight. I want to say thank you to all those out there that are listening. Thank you to all those who are supporting. Before we get started, we have a special announcement to make. I think I'm going to make it a little bit later on in the broadcast. I need everybody in here when we make this special announcement. But until then, let's go ahead and get started. Miss Morningstar, any words of encouragement for this evening?
Of course, we always have to have some positivity starting our evening. So let's go with this quote. This is a positive affirmation. I am a good listener. I am internally grateful for all of the blessings I have in my life. Being honest frees me. My desires are valid. I have immense positive energy. Your self-worth grows when you fight for something you love. Take care of yourself doesn't mean me first. It means me too. Be you, love you, always, always.
I love that.
You know what I like about the ending of that? I want to say this. When I said
go ahead,
I said always, so they broke it up. ALLWAYS, and then they put always. So basically they're saying love yourself all in all ways, always. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I sure do.
That was cute.
I sure do. I love it. Mm-hmm. You have to have something positive to start you off. Starting off on the wrong foot is not an option. We are always going to start with a great inspirational quote to kick off our evening. Tonight we have some really cool guests. I consider one of the young ladies my sister. She's a middle child. That's what I like to call her. And we also have another guest. I'm waiting on her to join us. But we have some pretty nice things lined up for us. First, let's get to the news, okay? We've always got to kick in with some news. As far as I know, I hate to start with this, but I'm just going to have to go ahead and start. Okay, so Mr. Man in office, he's proposing to abolish the federal income tax, bringing us back to the richest period, and I put that in air quotes if you guys can't see it, in history. How? And on top of that, why? And even furthermore, how is that going to affect our infrastructure? You know,
Right.
it's something new every day. I woke up this morning and said, "Oh, what's new?" You know, and unfortunately, you know, it's this is the gist for the next 4 years. What we will do is recognize that this is happening. However, we will also recognize that we have avenues to circumvent the crazy. And we'll
Right.
get into those avenues in just a second. What about those executive orders yesterday, sis? Him shutting down
Yeah.
literally everything.
Yeah. So we all know that he did a spending freeze for the federal government, and this included all social programs. So I'm talking about Medicaid, Head Start, the food provider for children, free lunch. I mean, the food stamps. Um, it was a lot. It was a lot,
Free
and
lunch, free
yeah,
breakfast,
people were
child
having
care.
childcare. People were having problems actually trying to submit payment because he shut it down. So with that being said, it threw the country into a panic yesterday. Then we had a federal judge, actually stopped the order and postponed it until this coming Monday, because this is just, this is another stunt by Trump, or Rump, whatever we want to call him. This is another, stunt that he likes to pull. Nothing different from his previous terms, same playbook, throw the country into a panic, when he knows it's unlawful. He knows that what he's doing is unlawful and there's going to be lawsuits. And we have
Yeah.
another judge just threw his hand in the bucket today and said, hey, I intend to issue a new block. So here we got another federal judge because it's unlawful. And he's very aware that it's unlawful, yet he still continues to do these things to throw the country into a panic. What type of president would want to do that to a country?
I don't know if any president in our lifetime that would ever want to intentionally hurt the country, intentionally put us in a place of destitute and panic. And it's really sad at this point. It's alarming. But let me play this really quick because although he thought that it was a good idea to get his people involved and do the utmost unspeakable, deplorable things ever by stripping millions of Americans from the basic needs, their basic way of life. He thought it would work. However, let me go ahead and play this. Let me go ahead and bring this on in.
Okay, good afternoon. We're back here again because of new circumstances, but we appreciate your coming in on short order. So, today, we saw what happens when Americans fight back against disastrous policies. Americans made their voices heard. Donald Trump rescinded the OMB order. Now he should rescind the nomination of Russell Vought. When the Trump administration announced this awful directive on Monday night, we knew immediately it was short-sighted, disastrous, cruel, and dumb. It was clear then, as it is now, that the directive was given without any comprehension of what it actually called for, let alone the ramifications on literally hundreds of millions of Americans. And the American people are outraged from one end of the country to the other, and it is clear that President Trump and his minions are feeling the heat. Did President Trump know he was kneecapping cops and firefighters from purchasing literally life-saving equipment like bulletproof vests and breathing gear?
Yes.
Did President Trump know that he was destroying Puerto Rico's assistance program, leaving 1 million Americans hungry?
Yes.
Did President Trump know that he was essentially shuttering community health centers, rural hospitals, food pantries?
Yes.
If he didn't, Democrats made sure he learned it real quick.
And with that, I can
I
only
love
say thank you. Me too. Because I don't know what he thought was going to happen, as if he thought that the American people were just going to sit here and say, oh, okay, well, if that's what you want to do to us, it's fine. It's never going to be fine. It's never going to be okay. You cannot treat people like this and think that we're going to just sit back and take it. What do you mean you're cutting everything, even funding for research, for cancer research, diabetes, any type of research that has to happen? He thought that it was going to be a good idea to do that.
He knew it would be a bad idea. He's just into playing this reality game and not caring that you are consequently playing with the lives of millions and millions and millions of people.
Yep.
And he doesn't care. He just does not care.
And what bothers me most is he doesn't care, but what about the people around him? Do they not have a heart? Do they not know that this will affect people in their district?
Right.
Do they not know that this will affect millions of Americans? What happened to America First?
That's right.
Is this what America First is supposed to be about? I mean, he's doing all these executive orders, but what about the eggs? What about the gas? I'm still waiting to hear one thing about the food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
This
all I do know is, Say it again. I'm sorry. I'm stepping on you. Go ahead.
I said this was just the items he ran on. This is what people screamed and hollered about for the years. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, as if it's supposed to be a good idea. As if this is going to help American citizens by stripping American citizens of their basic needs. That's helping America. That's putting America first, right? If that's putting America first, please put us last, right, and give us what we need. I mean, I may not need any of the assistance, but my neighbor, whatever happened to love thy neighbor? Isn't that what's in the good book? Whatever happened to caring for others? You want to take Medicaid and medical, the opportunity, not even an opportunity. People need medical care. That's so right. all those surgeries that were scheduled for yesterday, that's what I'm thinking about. Those hospitals having to scramble and surgeons being told, no, you can't do anything right now because they've cut off all funding. People giving birth. You can't tell a woman in labor, oh, well, no, you can't deliver now because you don't have insurance because the president just took it away. I mean, what are we doing here?
The law of nature. We talked about that the other day. The law of nature. Things that you cannot stop. Things that's necessary. Things that is just of the earth. I mean, things we have to do as being living, breathing humans on this earth. It's ridiculous.
It really is. It really is, sis. It's sad, and it needs to stop. And Chuck Grassley, I believe that was Chuck Grassley, he came out and made that announcement because, although he thinks that he can just come in and do whatever, there are still obviously some checks and balances put in place. Mm-hmm. And our big sister, Kamala Harris, she signed off on the one judge, the last judge that she signed off on.
Thank
You
goodness,
know,
Mel and
thank
Kamala.
goodness.
They did
Thank
they did what they had to do towards the end. I know we all, we wanted some more, but they got those judges, which was very important. Got those judges and or those appointed judges, lifetime appointed judges. So this helped.
Yeah, it did. It did. We're going to revisit it. We're going to talk about this throughout the evening. But right now, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And this commercial means so much to me. It's near and dear to my heart because this is my sister and she has an amazing announcement. So let's go ahead and listen to our big sister.
Listen.
Yes.
Tune in, guys. Listen closely.
Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're doing well, because I am, and I hope you are too. But guess what? I want to give you an update from the video I made earlier. Let me put this up here so it won't fall. Hold on. So you guys remember that post I made earlier about me going on WKRA with our plugs last Friday, showcasing my nonprofit, Carter's Carry Hands? And I told you someone was listening and someone wanted to reach out and touch me. They touched me. Yes. Trader Joe's decided to help me feed more families in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So I am in a contract with Trader Joe's. Right? And guess what? I could not do it without our plugs. So I want to thank DJ Kitty that by putting this company together, bringing me along, Miss Jack, Morningstar, and Aligo, and others. DJ Kitty had the mindset, the business mindset, to put us together to make a difference in our community. And without our plugs, I wouldn't be able to go on the McMahon Morning Show, WKRA. That's featured on YouTube. You know that one? So yeah, that helped me get the word out about my nonprofit. And that helped Trader Joe's to reach out and touch me. So this is all I wanted to say, guys. Listen, straight up. Plug your business into our plugs, right? It can be a big business, small business, or even something on the side. But guess what? It's yours. It's yours. Come join our plugs. We want you to showcase your business as well. This is what our plugs is about. Putting your business inside our plugs give you the opportunity to go on airtime, to broadcast your gift, your talent, your crafts, whatever you may have, to uplift your business, to help you. And this is what our plugs is about. So come on, plug your business in to ourplugs.com, our plugs, minority owned business directory. So together, we will move forward. No weapons formed against us shall prosper. I guarantee you that, because we gonna prosper together. So yeah, I got the contract. How about that? Hey. So you guys, come on and plug with us. Come plug your business with us. So together, we can move forward. Hope to see you soon. God bless.
I can't express how proud I am enough.
Wow.
Carter. Okay, Carter's Caring Hands.
Wow.
She deserves it all.
Amazing.
Our sister has been doing this since, she was a child, since she was 13. And she's been giving back. And for Trader Joe's to step up from listening in and to offer to assist her in feeding the community. That's huge. And I'm so very happy for you. And I, thank you, but thank everyone on our team. We are a team and we've worked hard to put our plugs together. And I'm just over the moon. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the people in your community, because they will be taken care of. And we need others. We need other nonprofits. We need other companies to step up and help out the community, just like Carter's Caring Hands and just like Trader Joe's. I'm so pleased. And I don't know even know what to say, sis.
I,
I'm
I'm,
just happy.
I'm gonna tell them this, sis. List your business. Get you a
Hey,
commercial. Get up here. We are making a difference in our community, and that is what our plugs is about. We started going at this right after the election because we wanted to do something about it. And
yes.
look at God, and it's
Look
just
at her.
January, and it's January.
Yeah.
Go ahead and list your
Yeah.
business. Go ahead and become a paid member. Get your commercial set up. We have someone who can do your commercials if you need a commercial done. Professional. Come on, connect. We need you guys.
We need you. And
We need each
if you
other.
have a business, trust me, you need us. We are making strides. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Mrs. Jack. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in Jessica Riley, aka Thickness, onto the stage. Going to add these young ladies to the stage. Let me change the format so that we can all see each other. Let's see.
Yes.
Let's see if that works. Okay. Good evening, Mrs. Jack. How are you?
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good evening, Mrs. Jack. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good evening, Jessica, aka Thickness.
Hello, you beautiful ladies. How are you guys doing today?
We are
Doing
wonderful.
well.
Good evening, gorgeous.
Good
Amazing.
evening. Look at y'all doing y'all thing over here. Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and start with Mrs. Jack. Mrs. Jack, you have helped so many on their mental health. You do
Oh,
this every day, Monday through Friday on TikTok. And of course, we want you on Our Plugs, the Community Connection, so you can reach those who aren't on TikTok. Um, do you have any words of advice for those who are going through it, especially after yesterday?
My advice, I say this a lot on my TikTok, is to take a break before you take breakdown. You have to give yourself grace. You have to step away. You got to pull back. Sometimes you got to disconnect yourself from all of the noise and take your break, because if you don't, everything is going to overwhelm you and you're going to be frustrated and you're going to drown in your own stress. So you got to take breaks, even if it's little moments throughout the day. Just take breaks, especially if you're frustrated with the political party. The climate is crazy right now. You cannot look at that 100% all day long. You will lose your mind. So take some breaks and take a step back sometimes. That's what I tell everybody. Take a break before you break down.
I agree. In my opinion, that's the only way to get through this. We don't have to be on all the time, 24/7, 365. Get out there, touch grass. That's my favorite saying. Touch grass and drink some water. Get some sun. A little hard to do, in the winter months because it's foggy, but you can still get out and do something. Go for a walk, get you a pet, go walk your dog. Just get out of the house and not be in front of that TV and being programmed for the doom and gloom. Because really, if you think about it, that's all we're seeing now is doom and gloom. What says you, Miss Morningstar?
I agree. I mean, you got to take a break, a breather, like you said. Get out here and exhale, inhale, exhale that fresh air, clear your mind. It's necessary. It's necessary. I mean, we've been doing this on social media, fighting a good fight, I say, for over a year now. And it can wear you down. It really can.
Yeah.
It can wear you down mentally, and then you'll start seeing the physical attributes of it. So I agree with you, ladies.
And
What
stop
about you?
hanging around negative people. I'm sorry, I meant to put that part in there too.
Say it again.
Stop hanging around negative people. Change your circle.
Yep.
Around
Absolutely.
positive people, you cannot help but to become more positive.
What about you, Jessica? What do you think?
Well, I think that yes, I do feel like, at some points that we do need to touch grass and be out there and kind of actually get away from it for a minute. But to be real, like I just feel like, this is actually, a part of our lives now. And it's like this is like some serious stuff. They are trying to like, get rid of black people.
Yeah.
Like this is like, I get that like we want to like, like be that stress free and try, but this is like really affecting like, like rights and like this is like he's throwing out like all of this stuff. My personal opinion, I think that like, Dumpy is like putting out all this stuff so that he can sit over here and get us like with an uproar. He wants an uproar. He wants to like, declare martial law. So I think that he wants us to be like, out there like, protesting and out there like, in like the streets so that he can like pick us off. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm just saying like, for him to sit here and mess with our constitutional rights, for him to sit over here and just even like, mess with that and not even think about no eggs or nothing. It is like this stuff is serious. And it's like I do understand like, stepping away. And I do get like, getting away from it for a minute, but it's like we still have to understand that, like, shoot, I got kids. I got my daughter and my son. My son is in the military. And it's like, this is going to affect him and what he does in the military. And he's got 3 more years in there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I'm going to say this, Jessica. Mm-hmm. We all have that sense. We all feel that way, but then we have to pull it back because it's going to hurt us mentally and physically and emotionally. Going down that path. You're absolutely correct and valid in feeling the way that you do. However, we make the plans, mm-hmm. we write them down, and we get to work. That's why we're here tonight, because we aren't sitting on our hands. The reason why you're on the show tonight is so that we can talk it out. The reason why Mrs. Jack is here tonight is so she can remind us that even though we may be facing bleak times, we can still get through this. We're not giving up. We can't. We don't have that option. Mm-hmm. So it's tough, but we as a country and as a whole will band together. We don't have a choice but to band together, especially after that stunt he pulled yesterday and sending those letters from OMB to all those employees and telling them to, resign and, resign for what? You want them to resign so you can put your hands in the piggy bank. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Right.
It was Kitty, it's the OPM services, which is
OPM.
OPM, which is the Office of Personnel Management for the federal government. So yeah, he definitely is. He is definitely testing the waters, to see who's gonna bite. And Jessica, I would just suggest, like the passion we're gonna have, but we do have to have a balance because because if we lose our sanity, who gonna fight the fight? We gotta, have that balance where we can take that break, whether it's a day or two, and then come right back at it because it don't stop. The fight it won't stop. But we definitely gotta, for our sense of sanity, we gotta learn to balance it. That way we can be at our best when we can be clear-headed. We don't want to go into it not clear-headed.
Yeah, and we don't want to, move hastily because we're so upset. And you're right. In my opinion, I agree with you, Thickness. I agree that he does want us to be up in arms and take to the streets. But 92% of us already said we're not doing that. Yeah. No, what we're doing is we are organizing because you can't pick us off from our house. Mm-hmm, you can't take what we've learned and educated ourselves with over the years. You can't undo this. We're uniting, and there's nothing that they can do about us. They can't shut us down. But what we can do is know that it's there. Okay, know that there's an alligator outside the tent, but know that we're inside the tent and we're prepared and we're preparing those around us and we're making waves and making sure that no one can penetrate this. And that's what's most important to me. Mrs. Jack.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have anything else you want to share?
The goal for the administration, we all have to think about it. And I want everybody to just, I know when you get frustrated, you panic sometimes. Please educate yourselves on the process of the government and understand that, yes, he may do 1 million executive orders, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily automatically going to happen. You've already seen how it's been happening. He'll say something, make an executive order, and then here comes the court and the judges like it's supposed to happen. They are saying, hold up, time out. It sounds good, but you can't really do this. So sometimes we just get stressed out because, of course, if you tell people that there's a threat of you losing your money or your way of living, then you're going to be stressed out. And if that's all you're seeing on the news, you're not researching to see that, hey, this can't just be taken away from me the way it is. You have to be able to figure out the game. So educate yourselves. Go figure it out first. Don't panic first. Don't act first. Think first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is so true. That is so true. We've got to be proactive and really aware of our surroundings and aware of what's happening. I tell my kids when they get out of the car, don't just jump out the car and run into the store. Sit in your car for a second. Look and make sure that everything's safe before you get out of the car. Check your surroundings, make sure you're not walking into something that you can't get out of, Take a step back and prepare yourself, because although we know the depth of, actually we don't know the depth of how evil he can be. We're seeing it now. We know how strong we are as a people. And I hate to hear people say, well, Black people won't come together. Yes, we can. And yes, we are. We are banding together. There are other directories out there, and I tip my hat to every one of them. There are other organizations that are forming. I tip my hat. My thought process is, let's all join together. I don't have that gatekeeping spirit. I feel like the only way we're going to thrive is if we open up and stop being so closed off and thinking that someone's going to do something to us or take something from us. No, let's open up ourselves to the possibilities of what we can be, even though our society has beat in our heads all of my adult life and as a child, that we can't do it. We have to stay separate. No, we don't. We're joined together now. And all we can do is get larger and grow. That's it. That's the only thing we can do, is continue to grow and move forward. Go ahead, Mrs. Jack.
Just a caveat off of what you were saying about other business directories. The goal is the same, regardless if there's one or if there's 1 million. The goal is to get more of our money into our community. So it helps us to have more than one. We are trying to grow ours, yes, but the focused goal should be on everybody trying to stay together, be a team and a group, and say, yeah, we're going to do this and keep it in our community because they have shown us that they don't really care. So we got to do this. It's not about being selfish and saying, I want to be the only one, because you'll never be the only one. But when we can build a team and do it together, then it doesn't matter however many other people are trying to do it as well.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
This is our version, guys, our version of the new Wall Street. You feel me? This is what we're doing. We have people that are unknown to us, our Black African American people, minority people that are joining in the fight. And like you said, whether it's 10 to 1 million directories, we need that, because this is our Black Wall Street and they can't get all of us. So we need that.
Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. At the end of the day, no matter where you go in life, you're always going to have to be a part of something. Trying to navigate through this system by yourself is tough. And, you deal with the mental issues of loneliness and being alone. When you can find like-minded people who have the same common goal, and that's just to be okay, to live in peace, to be able to raise your kids without the fear of something happening to them. And that just leads me into what's going on with this deportation. This is crazy. And my Latino brother, Puerto Rican, to my people of color, okay, who are experiencing the ugliness of America, I pray for you, especially those who tried to convince others that the con man was conning them and not to fall for the con. Unfortunately, we saw the numbers don't lie. We saw that there were too many Latinos who decided to go with the man who put their brother in cages the last time he was in office, separated mothers from their children, and they thought it was a good idea to bring him back. That right there is the shock of it all. I am disappointed in that community, because why would you do that? Why?
I think the shock now is finding out more and more day by day. We see videos online, right? We see people crying, saying, hey, I didn't think he was going to do this to us. I thought if we voted for him, he would spare us. It's sad that we knew it was a group, but we didn't know how large the group was. And then now there's nothing we can do to help you guys. And it's like a hurtful feeling to see people that, not that they voted against their own best interest. I think they had good intentions, the Latino population, of thinking that they were going to get spared, instead of going with their brain and listening to what he was saying. So now we're just seeing more people panicking, and it's just not adding to the situation. It just makes it more, terrible. And especially them going inside schools, because you're a special kind of evil if you can go into a school and have kids be traumatized.
Yeah.
Like they're not.
Well, I don't know if I can really just say best intentions, because he sat here and told them this.
I know. They tried to save themselves. That's why I say best intentions. They thought they were going to help save themselves. As lopsided as it may be, that's what I think they thought.
Right. And my thing is, as far as you guys trying to save yourselves, it's like, I don't know if that was the right choice if you're trying to save yourself, because one side was talking about mass deportation, and they were talking about going back to the 1798 bill. Yeah. That's not saving yourself. He was talking about that way before you guys voted for him. So I don't have any sympathy for none of them. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well, my thought process on that was, those who decided to walk in that booth and vote for the felon who had put your brethren again in cages and separated children from their parents. What you get, and you don't have a fit.
Right.
But those who tried, because we did have some that tried, even though the numbers aren't as high as they should be, my heart goes out to you.
I also think they didn't really believe it because it was so horrible. It's like, this is too far gone. He has to be just saying words just to say them, to get people on his side. It can't really be realistic, because we've never had so much this happened so bad at once with a new president. We've never had somebody come in and just try to rip away everything. So nobody really thought this would be reality, and it really is.
Even though he said he wanted to be a dictator on day one, I mean, the thought that
I'm kind of with Jessica, on a sense where, you got to believe a grown adult when they tell you who they are the first time. Believe them. And unfortunately, there's casualties in war, or casualties, and I hate what's happening to these babies.
Right.
This is not fair. This is not fair for them to have to go through the PTSD trauma, which they will have.
Absolutely.
And after seeing their parents being ripped away from them, being placed into, let's keep it real, they're not sending them away. They want to put them in camps. They want to put them to work.
Remember about the homeless?
It's sick and disgusting.
Remember
It's
what we were reading?
Yes, I do. And it's all disgusting because now you are trying to go back hundreds and hundreds of years to a time that is, regardless if we were there or not, we know the stories.
Right.
And we know what our ancestors went through. So now you have the catchers, I call them the catchers, out here catching people at work, at school, at church. It's disgusting.
At the grocery stores. At the grocery stores, you can't go anywhere without fear. They are living in fear. And it all goes back to your choices. Choices, you made that choice, and the consequences of those choices are that he's going to deport anyone without documentation. And on top of that, it seems to me that he's deporting anyone. I heard a story of a mother, a grandmother, and a toddler that were picked up by ICE, and they had to show that they were Puerto Rican citizens. For those who don't know, Puerto Rico is a part of the United States.
Right, it's American territory.
Start with the president. When we're naming people that didn't know, start with the president who did not know that.
Yeah, he didn't know.
The commander,
right. My thing is that, like, they're not just picking up like just the criminals that they swore up and down they were going to do. Like, what criminals are you like, getting out of schools?
Right.
Like, this is absolute nonsense. You guys sat over here and he ran on getting criminals. He ran on, they're dumping them all at, like, the border, the criminals, the asylum seekers. We're going to get them out of here. But now we're talking about going into hospitals and churches and schools.
Yep.
What does this remind y'all of? What does this remind y'all of?
Germany.
And slavery.
Yep, absolutely.
That was trying to round up all the slaves. They went everywhere. They had a special badge just to arrest Black people. So this is what it seems like now. It's like, hey, show me your papers. Oh, we don't really care if you have them or not. We're just going to take people that look the part. And that is probably the most disrespectful, inhumane thing to go around. Just because someone looks Hispanic, to just, hey, come with us. We'll figure it out later. We're going to make this show. We got to put on a show because it's all a show right now. Yep. Because trust me,
let me tell you, Miss Jackson, what he said out of his mouth. I don't know if you guys heard it, but he said out of his mouth, well, I can look at them and tell if they're bad.
Yep, he sure did.
I remember. So you can just look at a human being, a person, and just, that's a bad one. Go ahead and get them. That's the time that he's on at this moment, y'all.
He looks at himself in the mirror every day. Clearly, he can't tell what's bad and what's not.
Absolutely. And let me say this, ladies. Let me add this to you guys. It's all shock and awe, but you have to pay attention. He's keeping the American people, in shock of all the deplorable things that are happening, all while he's in the back robbing us blind. Okay? Because he has to do that in order to get to the piggy bank.
Sleight of hand. It is sleight of
hand. It is
every time. That's why I said earlier
always
about the executive orders. All that is for show because he has to make his base feel like he is really doing what he said he was going to do. So he's doing all that. Hey, look, I told you I was going to stop spending wasteless money. I'm not telling you where I'm putting it after I steal it. I just want y'all to see that I'm trying to stop it. And they're like eating it up because in the background, him and his cronies are taking money from lunch, but y'all don't care.
They don't care. You're taking money from children and you don't care. You're taking money from research, cancer research, diabetes, Parkinson's. You're taking money and you're using it on what? You're putting it in your pocket. No one's crazy. We are well aware because we've been down this road before. And so everyone's hypersensitive as to what's going on and very aware as to everything that you're doing. We may talk about it, but trust me when I tell you, we see you. And it's not going unnoticed. And I pray that the ones that can keep him in check, it seems like the judges are slapping his craziness down. They continue to do so because they better buckle up because we've got 4 years of this craziness and it's all
Right.
good. We will figure it out. We don't have a choice. You know, when people decided to go to that voting booth and elect a criminal over an educated Black woman, that was the choice. And so now we will live with those choices. But we, as a collective, we got plans. Get into our plugs because we will not sit idly by and do nothing. We don't have a choice. We've got to make moves. We're wrapping up. We're coming up on a commercial break, but I do want to reach out and say this really quickly. Number one, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you, WKRA 92.7, for allowing us this time on air. Thank you, Mr. Mack. I see you out in the bushes, as you would say, listening. And I just wanted to share with you guys. So we have joined partners. Hold on to your socks, folks. So, we air Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on WKRA 92.7, The Change. Mr. Mack brought us on board. He blessed us with airtime. He blessed us with the opportunity to learn the station and learn how to navigate and bring up small businesses. And you see it's paying off. It's January, and our sister already has a deal with Trader Joe's. But I want to say that other people are listening as well. So we are now in partnership with WHGELP 95.3 FM
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yes.
Amazing.
So
I feel like
it's
we need
amazing.
celebration music.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. That is y'all, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Our team thanks you. WHGE LP 95.3 FM, we thank you. WKRA 92.7, we thank you. Mr. Mack, we thank you. And on that note, we are going to commercial break, but I cannot say thank you enough. And I'm going to play one of my favorite commercials because, we don't have music right now. I should have had some queued up. We do have this.
Welcome to A World That Sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC takes custom to a whole new level. You are guaranteed to find a gift for that special someone or even a customized gift for yourself. So head on over to my Etsy shop, Sparkle Kicks LLC, and start your personalized order today. I'll be waiting to hear from you. Have a great day.
Enter into Morningstar Boutique by Tam, where you can elevate your wardrobe and class meets fashion. Shop with me and become a star, always providing fashion that makes you unforgettable. Find me at www.morningstarboutiquebytam.com or at ourplugs.com. I hope to see you soon.
And we are back. You are listening to, can you guys hear me? You are listening to DJ Kitty Cat, Mrs. Morningstar, our special guest, Mrs. Jack and Thickness on WKRA 92.7, The Change, brought to you by Our Plugs, the Community Connection. We are back, ladies. I love those commercials.
You know what? I love me.
Clothes.
I love me some reds. Okay.
Yeah, those outfits were really cute.
As soon as I can get myself down to Mr. Mac, you gonna have to take us to Reds now.
Okay, we got to come to Mississippi and go to Reds because
just so they can play the theme song. All you have to play is a theme song for me, and I will be okay for the evening. Get me some chicken wings. I think I'll be fine.
I think I'll be okay, but I'm also gonna go to what's it, Pizza Pro XL. Oh yeah, because that margarita, baby.
That's that libations, Mr. Mag. You know when I say that libations.
But I love all the clothes that Miss Morningstar had. I wanted everything. You know how you look at something, you go in a store and your eyes are like ordering too much for food, bigger than your stomach. So you go in a store, you see all the clothes, it's like, yeah, I want this and this and this. I want that too. I think that's what me and Jessica was looking at. Like, I want all that.
You're right.
Me too. I want that red sweater, but we'll talk about that offline. But I definitely want that red sweater. But you guys, if you see anything you like, all you have to go to is ourplugs.com. Click on Mrs. Morningstar or Mrs. Jack or any of the other members' profile and go ahead and start your order. You know, I'm lucky. Mrs. Morningstar is 15 minutes away, so I get to shop at her store at her home.
She always bragging, y'all. She always bragging.
Right. Like, wait a minute. Can we put me in that too?
Well, we are in the same city. But yeah. I'm sorry, Mrs. Jack. It's just you. You know, I told you, come on, move down here now. All right. Let's get back on our regular scheduled program. Okay, so Mrs. Thickness, I see you changed your name. Yes, ma'am. Let me get to your questions because I had some questions for you, honey. Okay. All right. So first, introduce yourself. Tell the folks who you are and let's go. Introduce yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Thickness. Well, Jessica, and I'm 40 years old. I live here in Texas. I've been here about 5 years, but I'm a military brat. I have 2 beautiful babies, just absolutely gorgeous, just geniuses. My son's in the military. He's 19. He's in the Army. And my daughter, she's 7. And, you know, I am doing the best I can out here, like living life. Life is lifing.
And we met you on TikTok. And when I first saw you, I said, look at this young lady, you know, because I am a bit older than you, just, you know, maybe 10, 15 years older than you.
Like a little bit.
I looked at you and I said, listen to her. And you were just going in. You were, you know, all about politics. You know, that's what really drew me to you because you were spitting out exactly what was going on when we were trying to get these people to understand that, you know, he was lying to them. And you've run across some pretty interesting characters on TikTok, haven't you?
That I have. There's there's a lot of people that, you know, that you just really want them to get it. You just want, like, you know, I want them to understand that, like, Black people, we saw this happening. We saw this coming. We, like, you know, we have been oppressed in this country forever. So we saw the insults. We saw the hatred. We saw the division. And so I wanted to, like, you know, I really wanted them to understand, like, you know, this is like, they're trying to bring back things that we've already overcome. And it's like, they don't listen, especially with, like, the Black people that are just like on board with this. It bothers me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that bothers me a lot as well, because if you're of African American descent, any descent really, and you see the hate that is coming from that administration and you're okay with it,
Right.
or I don't understand that, because did you not grow up with your parents and your siblings and your grandparents, and did they not tell you how Black people were treated? And so now you're out cheering and supporting the very same people who disparaged your family members. I will never
Absolutely.
wrap my mind around it. Some people say, oh, well, he means what he says. No, he doesn't. I haven't
No,
heard him say anything that he means
at all.
and says. And he gets things done. Where's the border wall? Where's the health care plan? Where's the infrastructure plan?
Right.
Nothing was
In
done.
his thoughts and prayers. That is
Thoughts
where
and prayers,
everything
baby.
is. Thoughts
Right.
and prayers. And the crazy part is when you can literally tell people things and they block out, to tell me that I'm going to take away your health care but not replace it with anything and you be okay with that, that means there's something wrong mentally. You really have to have a mental issue to hear things like that and be okay and go along with it. To see how other people stand by and watch people get treated inhumane, and you still can stand back and say, I'm a Christian. I care about everybody.
Right.
How?
There's
That's what
no
bothers
way.
me most. No, there is no way. How can you say that you're a Christian and you're okay with what's happening? How can you say you're a Christian and you don't want to feed kids?
Well, he
or
did
even-
tell us he wasn't Christian, remember?
Right.
Well, he did,
Right.
but he's got all these Christians following him, thinking that, oh, well, he's funny and he says what he means, and oh, he didn't mean that. Which one is it?
Right.
I get
They
so
know who he
befuddled.
is. I think they
Yeah.
honestly know who he is. They just had to be okay with it because he was the right race. So you can say you can be Christian. You can say you hold all these values and morals. And then when you're willing to overlook all of that to vote for somebody who's the exact opposite, that means there's something bigger at play. You only voted for this man because you wanted the one that was the right color. Regardless of how bad he was, you made excuses because you knew it was wrong, but you had to follow suit.
Yeah.
Well,
They
I just
believe
know that he did not mean what he said. Everything that he said they were lies.
Yeah.
He said over here and told you guys that he wasn't a Christian, but he told you that like in 4 years they'll have it fixed so good you don't have to worry about voting.
Right.
These are things that came out of his mouth, and you could repeat the same thing. You can give them a video of him saying this out of his mouth, and they continue to sit here and make excuses for this nonsense.
Yeah. And it's sad.
It is. I have a question for Jessica, or Thickness. Let me call you Thickness. So Thickness, I ain't gonna even lie, girl. I'm a girl fan. I love watching you on TikTok. Guys, make sure you follow her. If you on TikTok, make sure you follow Thickness.
Well, they done banned my original account, but I still got 2 more. They can't tie me.
Because girl, you be giving them that fire. But I want to ask you a question on our upcoming month. But you know what I said, we celebrating Black History forever and ever.
Right.
Never gonna do limited to just 28 days. What's your thought on Black History Month? What's your thoughts?
Well, my thought is that, I don't think that him just messing with that is just showing that you have a whole disrespect for Black people, because you came out you came out here saying that you gonna fix eggs and you was here for the people and you was gonna help America be great again, and then you get into the office and you're trying to you're trying to take away Black people's rights. You're writing EOs for take away you want to do DEI and take away Black History Month. Black history is American history. We shouldn't just have no month anyway.
Exactly.
This is nonsense. You can't just single us down to 1 month. This is what happened in this country was that happened to Black people. And we know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know the racism. You've seen it. We know it. We know it's here. We know it didn't go anywhere. But it's for them to sit over here and try to erase us, that's my problem. I have an issue with that.
Absolutely. We didn't ask for Black History Month anyway. We said we want Black history just taught, period. We don't need a month. Just teach
Right.
it like you teach everything else. Teach it like you teach American history, because it, Black history
But the
is
real history,
American history.
it's the real
It's the
history.
history.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You know,
they
stop
want to
lying.
brainwash you.
Right, and it's what happened, and then with them trying to ban it from school, trying to ban like history from book, like they want to sit there and say that slavery was beneficial to like like to Black people. It's like that's what bothers me. You're trying to like change our history right in our eyes, right in our faces.
Yeah, as if we don't matter, as
Yeah,
if
it's
we're going to sit
nonsense.
back and just do nothing. But that's okay, because you know what? We can teach ourselves. We
Mhm.
may as well teach ourselves, because learning it in school, they didn't teach half the things that we needed to learn in school. So we may as
Right.
well learn it ourselves.
I'm gonna tell you this: we have a history that can be spoken about every day, every day. Okay,
Yep.
so
Mhm.
we don't have to, limit it to just a month. We have something great to talk about our people every day. So
Absolutely.
I am so thrilled about Black History Month and to Black History every day. I'm
Yeah.
thrilled about it.
Yeah.
And the
Right,
crazy
because
part is
even
the
like with
only
that.
people that don't want to celebrate it ain't Black anyway. So I really don't care.
Right, but even when like there is a lot of like history that was not told. Like with the 688, I didn't even know that until I got older. Like
Yeah. A lot
today.
of it we don't know until we get older. There's a lot that happens that we have no idea until, if it weren't for TikTok, we wouldn't know a lot of things. Think about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true. Because like
If it
that
weren't
makes
for
me,
social
and just
media.
like the little clips that I get, it makes me want to go do more research to find out. Like I want to know about that too. Like let me know. Because I even found out like even with Harriet Tubman, what I was taught in school was the Underground Railroad. I got that. That's what's up. But then later on, doing more research, finding out that she was named like a 1-star general by in the like Maryland, like in the Maryland National Guard. And 100 years after she like died, she was like she was honored, like she was given that honor because she actually in 1864 she actually sat over here and was like the first woman known, Black woman known to like help with the operation that like like that destroyed
Mhm.
millions of dollars worth of like Confederate like stockpile.
Yep.
So like
Absolutely.
1864, millions of dollars in like 1864.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was a huge help in what like that like that whole Confederate like the like in the war. And it's like, but people don't understand it and people don't know it.
Yeah.
Well, they aren't taught it.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, when we integrate it, we stopped learning about our history, and we left it up to a society to teach us, Black people, about ourselves, when we actually have to pull it back and start teaching us about us, because they never did. We integrated for what? To go by their rules, to be taught, you know, only what they wanted us to learn, and to
Mhm.
erase our history. Well, those days are over. You
Yep.
know, we have next week, we have a surprise. I'm not going to announce her tonight, but I will if you follow us on TikTok. And I hope that you do follow us on TikTok, every one of us, and you can go to our bio on YouTube and find each name and follow us on TikTok. But next week we have someone who's going to come in, and she is a professor of African American studies. I'm not going to give it away, but I will give you a hint. Go to Hillman Talk University on TikTok and check it out. And one of those professors, she will be joining us next week. All I can say is bring your pad, bring your pen, and get ready, because it's time for us to stop living like they want us to live and learn where we actually came from and learn how great we truly are without the hiccup or the heartburn of someone telling us that we're not. We're not doing that any longer.
That's
We're
right.
not.
Hey, Kitty, it looks like we have a guest in here, Mr. Mac. Hey, Mr. Mac.
Hey, Mr. Mac.
I look, I am over here just, you know, it's like it's like you see something grow from a child. You know, those of y'all that are parents, I am not a parent, but I kind of feel like a parent this evening because I do, I swear I do. I have seen, and this graphic, I know the Magman Morning Show is going to get a new graphic too. Like this is this is really unique. And I didn't say nothing until you said something. So I'm so glad you let the cat out the bag, Miss Kitty Cat, DJ Kitty Cat.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is. And you have a right to because I want to say something real quick. Y'all know I got my ways of doing things. But when we started our partnership, not even laying eyes on each other, I'm just going to tell True Shame the Devil, go ahead and let you see what God has done. And this woman came and put her whole heart in saying, this is what I want to do. And I knew that who knew that in the midst of turmoil, God will bless you. I'll leave that part right there. Our Plugs LLC is a wonderful blessing from God to me and to what we do here at Mac Media 3. That I got a real partner. And when I say Kitty's my real partner, that's my real partner. Okay. I'm telling you that
Thank you.
I would go to the boardroom with if we had major business. Kitty is lead negotiator on all business deals. I trust her that much. I'm just gonna see you guys see we don't see me like, I'm gonna say this, man, brothers. I know y'all listening in the bushes and all of that foolishness. But let me tell you something. We have to band together as one and get off our whatever it is. I want to say some things, but I am a decent man. I want to say something. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We no more preaching, no more reminding you, no more cheerleading sessions, no more going to pep rallies. We need to get off our tail and hit the streets and get this done. There's a young man, young woman, there's somebody, I mean, taking care and looking out for the next generation and not putting them in harm. Because if you do, we're going to split your head. We're sick of people that it's always our fault. Now we're no longer victims now, but we're going to stand. We either stand with the queens or we'll get killed by the pompers. That's the word of the night. You either stand with the kings and the queens. The best movie that I've ever seen was, and I didn't even see it. I just saw part of it. The part I didn't even look at the movie. I might have went to sleep, but the part that I saw in the Black Panther movie, the best part I saw was the warrior women
Yeah.
did something to me. It freaked me out. It made my hair, the little bit I have on the back of my neck, rise up to see warrior women protecting the king. Y'all can say what you want to say. I know I'm telling the truth. I know I'm telling. It don't degrade a man to recognize where the strength lies. The queen is the only piece on the chessboard that can go all over that joker is the queen. You can't have a kingdom without a queen. You're in danger. The king stick his head out there, get it knocked off, get assassinated. But she can go into all segments of society and she can represent the kingdom. You might have kings in your life personally, but in what we're doing in our community, I'll put it that way. This community that has come together because of this collaboration, look at what God has done. We got two radio stations spanning in certain directions. If I do the math right, maybe 2.1 million people will receive the signal combined with WKRA and where we're going in Delaware and in southern Philadelphia. Remember, at night, the signal there, 24-hour station. At night, the airways are lower. So if anything is broadcast, it goes farther.
Yeah.
That's broadcast radio. Somebody's going to hear that signal somewhere. They're going to hear what we have to say, not just in the morning, but they got a 24-hour station. Am I right or wrong about that, Ms. Morris
You're right. You're
and Miss
absolutely
Kitty?
I
Yes, yes.
receive.
Black or
Receive
black
that.
oriented, black oriented. I mean, when I say black oriented, I mean black or ain't no Oreo cookie type thing. We're for the community. Delaware? Who's in Delaware? My boy Joe Biden. Don't think I won't ask him for an interview. Don't think I
Okay.
won't do it.
You
Don't
think
Holla
you
that
at
think
us,
I won't?
Joe.
I'll knock on his door. I am James McCray. I got press credentials
is my
from
press
two
credentials?
radio stations. You know how I
Hey,
do it. Y'all know I act crazy. Y'all know I
Holla
do it. I
at us,
get what I
Joe.
want.
We want to talk
Okay,
to you,
let me
brother.
yes,
you say what now? What? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we got some figuring out. I want Kamala Harris on one of our shows. You ain't
absolutely.
in the White House no more. You
We
ain't got to
speak
have Secret
that.
Service and all that. You ain't got no schedule to keep.
Mr.
You
Mac,
need to come
we gonna
on here and tell
speak
us.
it
Yeah.
into existence. We gonna speak it
What
into
you
Speak
say?
it
existence.
into existence, Mr.
Oh, I'm
Mack.
sorry. I thought that I'm speaking it right now. Let me say this as partners, all of you, Miss Jack. I know you in there somewhere. Miss Carter. I'm.
Right here.
It's because the collaboration of our plugs opening up the door so somebody can hear what was said. Today I told them, if you want to get your stuff out, you better advertise with it. Don't get us when we hot and everything. We hot now. We ain't cheap. We a business. Our Plugs LLC, Mac Media 3 Productions LLC is a business. We ain't, you got no, we're not the charity. We might help charities, but we're here. If you can give all these other entities super chats and send money here and we donate here. Don't you know that if you invest $30 in our plug, am I right? Come on, somebody help me out. Make sure I
You're
ain't
right.
telling nobody a lie.
$30 get you a
Thirty
premium member.
dollars.
You on
$30.
point.
Come on, I ain't talking about you don't need no $10. Why go cheap? I wish it was 50, but that ain't my business. I ain't going there. I ain't going there.
It's
I ain't
all
gonna start no trouble.
No,
we
We
just we
can't
gotta
degrade
go before we
ourselves.
walk.
Let me tell you something. I'm not anti-white. I am pro-black. And what I say is this: we have enough buying power. We ain't got to kiss nobody's behind. We just got to go get it and help our community realize the fact of the matter is this, not just in business. Economics is what's going to rule. If you don't know what's going on in your pocket, you don't know what's going on. That goes for James Mack too. So I got to get on my P's and Q's and learn and make sure that my business is in order, my finances is in order. Am I making any money? I don't get into business not to make no money. You crazy is all I do. I'm not doing this for it's a business. Communications is a business. I'm
mm,
sorry. I didn't mean to go that deep. But our plugs LLC, our
Thank
plugs, the
you, Mr. Mack.
community connection.
thank
I'm
you.
just gonna tell the truth. Mac Media Productions, the Mac Man Morning Show, and another morning show like the Mac Man Morning Show. But we just grateful that we ain't cousins. We hooked together. We partners. We're partners, and I just wanted to say that, and I'm gonna go away. I ain't mean to do all that talking. I'm gonna shut my mouth now.
Yes, you did, but we love it.
It's okay.
We know
We accept you, you know.
we
We know you
appreciate
got to come in here and say what you need to say when you need to say it, and it's fine, Mr. Mack. And I know for a fact that I couldn't do any of this if I didn't have my team. I love my family. You know, these are my chosen family. I have a family, but these are the people I choose to be in my life. So
That's all.
it is an honor to be a part of this partnership. It's an honor to be connected with WKRA and WHGE. I hope I said that right because I have to memorize the name, you know, but yeah, WHGE. I got it right. It's an honor. And the fact that I have such a strong team, Miss Morningstar, Mrs. Jack, Ali Goat, um, powerful black woman, Ziva Carter. That's her TikTok name, powerful black woman.
Mhm.
Bunny, DC, Andre. You know, we are a team and we put it together. And then we come with Mr. Max. So we've got this. And just hold on, folks. All I ask is that you give us a chance. Join our plugs, you know, see
Kitty,
what
let's
we're
check
about.
and see what happened to Thickness because she's dropped off.
Yeah, I just sent her a message to rejoin because I do want to get her last
Yeah,
words.
we had a couple more questions for her.
Yeah.
I
Hold on.
her.
Take over, sis. Let me go ahead and see if I can call her. But go ahead.
Sure, go ahead. So yeah, guys, all dreams do come true apparently, and we worked really, really hard for these last few months, the whole team. So this is definitely an amazing adventure, I would say. I think that, with all hard work, all the time and we put into this, as a unit, I see it expanding, even more, and this is just a stepping stone. So I think, DJ Kitty and Mr. Mack absolutely giving us the opportunity. Mr. Mack, we can't be more grateful for the opportunity that you awarded us, some strangers. And you took on the opportunity to listen to us and our craziness on TikTok and said, hey, I got something special in them. And we can never be but so grateful to you. Also grateful for you, for your help in this. Miss Jack, what do you have to say?
I was about to jump right on in and say absolutely thankful and grateful, because we never know how far we can go, but we always need a stepping stone. We try to grow our plugs. It grows from the bottom up. And when we get new opportunities, they all start from the bottom up. And I think, Mr. Mack, you gave us our second bottom up, and all we got to do is take it up, up, and up. And we appreciate that. And we thank you.
Absolutely. So hopefully
and I see Ali Go. I see Ali Go has joined us tonight. Hey, Ali Go.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, brother?
Much. Man, we're here. We're fitting these boots real good. Them boots, they came on time, even though it's slow.
Bug, ain't they? They tighter than the bug. They good though.
they fit just right.
Boots fit well.
I want to remind everyone before we go to a commercial break that make sure that you subscribe to Our Plugs on YouTube. Subscribe to the Matt Man Morning Show on YouTube as well, because you're listening to both. You listen on both channels, right? So if you're at the Matt Man Morning Show right now, you're hearing us. If you're on Our Plugs, you're hearing us. But make sure you subscribe. I think we need 2 more subscription on Our Plugs to reach 100 subscription. To subscribe, it's free. Hit the subscription button, turn on the notification. Make sure you go to YouTube as well, and follow and turn on the notifications as well, and follow all of us over there. And also, if you look in the description on YouTube, you could see the handles for everyone that was here. Miss Thickness was here also. Her handle is in the description. So before we go out on a commercial break, we appreciate everybody tuning in. And progress sometimes is slow, but if you're moving forward, it's progress.
That's right.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and go to a quick commercial break. And we've got a couple more questions for Thickness before we wrap up for the evening. Let's.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios.
And we are back. You're listening to WKRA 92.7. This is DJ Kitty. Our Plugs. From Our Plugs, the Community Connection. We've got Thickness back in the house. Hey, welcome back, Thickness. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't know. We're sometimes we have technical difficulties. It's out of our hands. That's just like when I started. I couldn't get in. I kept pushing the button. It wouldn't let me in. Me in. But Miss Morningstar jumped right in. That's what a co-host does. She has my back. Yeah. So I know.
Make sure you follow.
I know we had a couple more questions. Go ahead.
Make sure you follow Thickness. Her TikTok handle is streaming at the bottom of the screen right now. So go ahead, take a snapshot. Write it down, do what you need to do to make sure that you follow her when you go to TikTok. Make sure you follow her, all right? And make sure you follow her content.
Thank you, Allie. How you
Absolutely.
doing?
I'm just here for the show so I don't get fired.
Don't you start that, Ollie Go. Don't start
Ali
that.
is,
Who's gonna fire
Ali is
you?
somewhat of a let me tell y'all something about Ali. He's somewhat of a comedian. I
He
just learned
is.
it
He
over
thinks he is. He thinks he's funny.
That's our big little brother, okay? He's gonna keep us
Yes.
together at the end of the day. So we covered Black history. Miss Morningstar, did you have another question for Thickness?
Yeah, I'm gonna just ask this. I'm gonna ask you number 4. I mean, you can answer 3 if you want to, but I see our time is running low. So, what goals do you have, Thickness? What goals do you have that you feel is going to help you deal with these next few years?
Well, my goals really are just to, kind of like actually do like, like teaching my daughter more about like our history, my son more about their history. Also like, trying to like, also teach them their rights to know like, what rights they do have and what rights we do have. And like, when they're being violated or like, somebody's trying to go against that, and, you need to speak up and say something. I also want to be able to reach out to like, my community and like want to help out in my community. I want to do it's like, like something. I was actually on a live and somebody, had like, actually brought up the um suggestion that maybe I should look into doing like, a nonprofit something like, sitting out here trying to like, get like the information out there to like these like the young youth or even like black people like just in general, because a lot of people don't know what is actually happening, like even when you talk to the people on these lives, they are just totally clueless. So I want to be like I want to be like more of like a person that can give awareness and like about what's happening and what we're doing, and like actually sit over here and let people know what their rights are about the Constitution, because people are not even like caring about that. I want to be able to get my voice out there. So not only like, helping my children understand what's going on, I also want to like, start going into our communities and actually like educating and like trying to get it out there. Like, this is what we need to do. And like, we can all stand together, but pretty much just getting out there and standing with my community as of right now.
Thickness, that is beautiful, because I think that you would fit really well with a mentorship program. So you can mentor those. Absolutely, honey. You've got the voice, you're not scared to speak, and you are strong in your convictions. And I know that I follow you, you immediately, I was watching, I'm like, oh yeah, let me follow her. A mentorship, you starting a mentorship program would be really good. And I think we've got 4 or 5 mentors on board through Our Plugs. It's time for you to go ahead, and I can help you get started, honey.
I would love that.
Let's get started. And that's what Our Plugs is about. It's about finding out what it is that you want. What's your passion? You can hear it in her voice.
You can.
She's passionate about this. And so it's up to us to help her get her mentorship program started. Why not? The sky is a limit, and all of us have a talent. All of us are gifted, and we may as well hone in on that. And that's your gift. So I'm here. We live in the same city, baby.
That's
All we
why
have
I
to do
love
is get
y'all.
together.
Y'all, you are the best.
We love you too.
And that's why I really like these TikToks and everything too, because it also gives us like, you get to meet up with people that from all different backgrounds, all different like, fields, like, and it's just like, it's really inspiring. And it's like, even with the worst happening right now, it actually is like, you're actually like able to like sit over here and reach out to people that actually can like, we can make changes. And I love that.
Me too.
I have a deep and prolific question for Thickness.
Go
ahead.
So when you were, how long have you been on TikTok?
For about like six months.
Okay. And it's a big thing when you join a new app or a new thing to try to learn it. But what came to the forefront when you said, what, I'm gonna join this app, but what am I gonna call myself? How did you name, or how did you come up with your name, your handle, Thickness?
Well, I've always been thick my whole life, and I feel like that I didn't want to put my real name out there, so I was like, Thickness is like, I'm like, my mom always told me, I get thick head sometimes, like I don't listen, and I'm really stubborn at times. I can be a little stubborn at times. And so I thought that it would be the perfect name because, even when people like, like I feel like, it was more about me. I'm like, this is how I like, portray myself. I know that I'm thinking, I know that I have like a lot of like, like I feel like there's a lot of knowledge up here. So I think it's like a thick knowledge of what I have. So I wanted to share that. I wanted to be that person to come out and bring it in. People like, oh, I don't know. I didn't want to call you that name. Well, that's what my name is. So call it to me. You can call me that name or you cannot like address me at all.
I know
Yes,
that.
absolutely. And who knew that 6 months later you'd be on a radio show and
Right.
being given the opportunity to start your own mentorship program, and let's go,
I know that's right. I love that. Right. And
Yes.
did I answer your question, Allie? I'm just sorry.
Yeah. I think everybody wanted to know, and since I was asking for a friend, so.
All right, so we got about 5 minutes left in the show. We're going to start with you, Thickness, as our guest for tonight. Give us your final 30 seconds of what you see, what you'd like to leave with.
Well, I would like to leave with like, just like leave the radio show with. Is that what?
Yes, what you'd like to leave the listeners with.
Oh, I would like to leave you guys with this. We're stronger together. This is like we have to start pouring into our community because like just like how it happened like with this election, they showed us like they are really not caring about like what our needs are and how we help like each other. We have to start pouring into each other. We had 82% of Black men that came out. We had 92% of Black women that came out. As much as they want to sit over here and divide us, we have always been together. We have always been like we've always stood up together. So they can't bring us down. They can't erase us, and then we will never be erased. We have put in so much, and we into this country. We built this country. We will continue to move on. We have been overcoming all these like obstacles and like all this crap for over 400 years. This is not anything different. We've got this. We got to stay together, you guys. Keep it together. We got this. Sue, just understand that we got to teach. We got to teach our young people. We got to start sitting over here. We got to teach and we got to be out there. Because I think that our voices need to be heard. It hasn't been heard enough. We're not going to go out there and protest so they can pick us off. But we got to move in ways like they did back then too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Thickness, for joining us tonight. Go ahead.
Thank you,
Go ahead,
You're on TikTok, but is there any other platform that you're on? Are you on YouTube? Because you damn sure need one.
Well, I have a YouTube page, and I also I'm on Favorited and Fan Base. So those are the ones that I picked up, like when TikTok went down. So I do have Thickness 2333 on Fan Base and also on Favorited. And right now I haven't had anything on my YouTube page, but I definitely want to start doing that too.
Get with me. I'll give you some ways to get your content going on.
On awesome! Thank you so much, Allie.
Right.
And I really appreciate you guys letting me come up here. You guys are amazing.
No worries.
Thank you for joining. Ali, really quick, last few words. We got 2 minutes.
Listen,
Outro.
Listen,
Yes.
we got to keep it moving. We appreciate everybody logging in, everybody listening in. If you listen this while we're not live, we appreciate you coming to the channel and listening to us. Make sure you follow us on all the platforms and make sure you subscribe and turn on all the notifications. We appreciate Thickness for coming through and dropping some gems. And you feel the energy. If you ain't energized when you hear her go, man, you're gonna need a pacemaker.
All right, Mrs. Jack, what do you have for us?
My final thoughts is quick. It will always be Our Plugs is about connecting communities. We can start by spending time with each other, building and learning from each other so that we can start new businesses and leave legacies for our families.
Yeah.
Man, sister. Go ahead, Miss Morningstar.
You all are wonderful. I thank each and every one of you on an everyday basis for your wisdom, your knowledge. Let's go. We got this, guys.
Yes.
You are listening to WKRA 92.7 The Change. This is DJ Kitty Cat and Our Plugs, the Community Connection. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back Friday, 6:30 Central Standard Time. It's Small Business Friday. Come check us out.
Oh,
Yes.
No signal in our flow. Chords all tangled tight. No sparks, just a faint glow. Silent whispers fill the night. Disconnected from the start. No current to ignite. Fumbling in the dark, searching for the light. Our plugs in our dreams, no power, no might. We're shadows unseen in the endless night. Our plugs in our dreams, no power, no might. We're shadows unseen in the endless night. Switched off like a machine. Energy drained from sight. Once we were a team, now just a lonely fight. Static fills our ears, empty sockets in the wall. Swimming through our fears, waiting for the call.